What if I told you that you're probably wasting about 10 hours every single week without even realizing it? Hey, I'm Daisy. I'm a certified project manager by day. I manage multi-million dollar projects, but I am also navigating the chaos of life, just like you are. And here's what I've learned about managing both, that most of us aren't failing because we're not trying hard enough. We're failing because we're doing things that feel productive but they're actual time traps. So I'm going to walk you through the five biggest time wasters I see constantly, and I was guilty of all five of them, plus what to do instead. Stick with me because number three is the one that was stealing the most hours for me every single day. Okay, with that, let's just go ahead and get started straight to it. So, time waster number one is checking your phone first thing in the morning. So, picture this that it's 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. or 8 a.m., doesn't matter, no judgment here. And just before you're fully awake and your hand is reaching for the phone and you're just telling yourself, hey, it's just a quick scan. I'm just going to check really quickly some things. And then 20 minutes into it, you read work emails, you check the news, you check your stock portfolio, you reply to text messages, and then suddenly you feel like you're running late because 20 minutes passed by and it was supposed to take a couple minutes. And then you feel stressed that you haven't gotten out of bed yet, and your entire morning energy has shifted, and you already feel like you've been hijacked by everyone else's priorities. So, why is this a trap? It is because you're letting other people's priorities hijack your priorities even before your day starts, officially starts, because you're still laying in your bed. So I know that you're checking probably your emails, text messages, the stock market, and I said, 20 minutes just went by and you haven't even brushed your teeth. You're still laying there in bed. So this is what to do instead. Implement a first 15 rule. So what this means is that the first 15 minutes are for you to set your intentions for the day and before you review anybody else's agenda for you, right? Because when you're checking your work emails, that's somebody else's priorities, not yours. When you're checking text messages, that's somebody else's priorities, not yours. You're checking the stock market, you have no control over that. So give yourself the first 15 rule and that's the first 15 minutes. Set the tone that you want for the day. That can be there praying, journaling, your affirmations, whatever mental health uh, protocols or routines you have in place. Make sure that you take care of you first and you set the tone for your day and your priorities. So now I don't even touch my phone until I've actually done my intentions, gotten out of bed, brushed my teeth, gotten ready, and grabbed my coffee. That's when I give myself permission to check everybody else's priorities, and then run to school, right, to the carpool lane, like I'm sure you are too. So that was time waster number one. Time waster number two is saying yes to everything just because you feel like you should. And there's a difference between should and could. So let me dig into this a little bit deeper. So last year, I said yes to being the room parent, which was great. And I also said yes to other events. But you know why I did that? Because I felt like I could, then I should do it. And I felt like I was capable of it, right? So why shouldn't I do it? But here's what happened. I was so stretched thin that all those things were nice to do. And I had no energy to do things that actually really matter, like being present for my kids when they wanted to talk to me about their day or when they wanted to ask me about upcoming projects that they have going on in their school or any weekend activities that we want to do. I was so stretched thin, focused on all the things that I had said yes to, that I had no mental bandwidth to have anything else coming my way. So the guilt trip that we face here is that if I can do it, I should do it. And that's not how you should be seeing this. So for just remember that for every yes that you say yes to, it is a no to something that matters. So don't get me wrong here. There are things that are important that you do if you have the ability and you do it, yes. But I'm talking about the things that you just things come your way and you feel guilt and you feel like you should do it, even though you have all these other things and you know you can't do it. Those are the things that I'm talking about. So, for example, being the room parent or participating in a bake sale or handling extra carpools, just because you can do those things doesn't mean that you have to do them. And if you say no, I promise your kids will survive and they will be fine. So, okay, I'm giving you here the 5 time wasters, but here's the thing: knowing what not to do is only half the battle. You also need systems to actually protect your time. So, this is exactly what I teach inside my free membership. We have practical no fuss systems that actually work for busy working moms like us. So, I'm going to drop the link here so you can get added to the free membership. And there's already free resources in there that you can use. So, go in there, pause this video, and go in there and get signed up for the free membership. Okay, so now that takes us to time waster number 3, and that is multitasking. So this is the worst habit ever. I genuinely believe that multitasking was everything, and I was a multitasking queen. So I would be on a work call while folding laundry, while mentally planning what's for dinner, while half listening to my kids tell me about school. And I thought that I was being efficient because, hello, I'm doing 3 things at once. But you know what actually happened is that the work call got twice as long because I kept losing track and I had to go back. And also the folding of the laundry. Yeah, I didn't do a good job at that either. It was kind of sloppy. And I'm being generous, it was very sloppy. And I also had no idea what I was going to make for dinner. And eventually, my kids stopped talking to me because they knew that I wasn't really listening. So, the lie that we believe is that we are more efficient when we do more things at once, which is not true. So your brain literally can't focus at 2 things at one because you're rapidly switching time as well when you are transitioning from task to task. So you're not even gaining time, you're losing time when you're shifting those gears in your brain from task to task, and you're not being fully present in each task. Not that folding laundry requires you to be fully present, but you can just finish faster if you're just folding laundry. So one day I timed myself and I ran a little experiment here because I like to experiment. And I just folded the laundry. Like, this is it. I'm going to fold the laundry in the evening time. This is what I'm going to do. This is my task. And what I've noticed is that it took me less time to fold the laundry because I wasn't sidetracked and stopping and thinking about dinner and trying to think about the call. I literally was just folding the laundry. It was still sloppy, but nonetheless, I was still just folding the laundry. Research also shows that we waste about 40% of productive time every time we multitask. So that's research, that's what it says. So, what to do instead? You're probably wondering, okay, what can I do? Because as a working mom, you're probably doing a million things at once. So, I highly recommend time blocking about 15 to 30 minutes for each task and to only do one thing in that set allotment of 15 to 30 minutes. So now an example is when my kids talk to me, I stop what I'm doing and I actually listen. And when I'm working, I'm actually working. And when I'm folding laundry, I'm only folding laundry. And everything else takes like time and I feel less exhausted because when we're doing so many things at once, it's kind of like when you have all those open windows on your computer and or the open tabs, and then your computer takes a longer to reboot or turn off. When you want to turn off your computer with all those open tabs, your computer gives you a message. Are you sure you want to close it because you have this document and that document and that document and that document, as opposed to just shutting off because you don't have 100 million open tabs? That's what I'm talking about. So that was that was the number 3, the biggest time waster number 3. Now I'm going to go to number 4. So the biggest time waster number 4 for me was not batching similar tasks. So I used to run to Target for one thing and then 2 days later run to the grocery store for another thing and then back to Target because I forgot what I needed to get from Target 2 days ago. So then I have to find myself going back for something that my kid needs for a project. Then I would pop into the post office, and each trip felt I justified it like, hey, it's only like a mile or two away. It only takes 20 minutes. And that's the way that I justified it. But when I actually tracked it, I was spending about 4 hours just driving around running errands because you don't take into account the time that, yes, you have to get in the car, Go to the store, find parking, finding parking at Trader Joe's. I mean, that's just another, part-time gig, just finding parking at Trader Joe's, but you get it. So I was just spending like 4 hours running around doing these errands. So the chaos of running different errands at a different time and doing different things on different days kind of eats up. So what you want to do is batch similar items. So now I batch my items just in one day. So Sunday mornings, that's when I do all my grocery shopping. That's when I go to, if I go to Whole Foods for one thing, I go to Trader Joe's for another thing, I need to go to Target for another thing. That's when I do it. And sorry, Instacart fans, I actually have to go to the store and see my produce and touch it and look at it. I'm one of those weird ones. But for those that use Instacart, just use Instacart. Order your Instacart groceries on a specific day that works best for you of the week. And also, when I answer emails, for the you want to set allotments as when you're spending time answering emails, because otherwise nothing will get done. Because as you're working on one item, you're going to have 3, 5, 10, 20, 30 emails come your way, and then you're pivoting back to responding to those emails, and then you forget again. You're shifting gears, you're multitasking in a sense, because you're working on your project and then you're answering emails. So now I set times. Okay, in the morning I check my work emails. I have deep focus work on my project. I go back to my emails. And if anything is ever urgent, trust me, people will give you a call. So don't you worry that you're going to feel that you're going to lose track of something at work because you're not checking your emails constantly. And same thing goes for your personal life. If something is urgent, someone's not going to send you an email about it, they're going to call you. Okay. So now uh, I'm going to remind you again that you're thinking, yes, Daisy, this all sounds great, but how do I actually set this up for my life? And that's probably the biggest question, that you're liking what you're hearing, but well, how do you action on this? That's the biggest part here, the implementation piece. So inside the free membership that I mentioned, I give you templates and schedules and examples of how to do this, so you can batch these items in your planner, so you don't have to worry about this and feel like you're doing it alone. So come and join us in the free membership. Again, I'm going to drop the link here in in the comments so you can grab those free resources for you. Okay, and then now time waster number 5 is, are you ready for this? Is reinventing the wheel every single time. So every night at 5 p.m., when 5 p.m. rolls around, I would open the fridge, open the pantry, and think, what's for dinner tonight? And what would I would have probably, I don't know, but I was think that dinner will magically come down from the sky and appear. So I would spend 20 minutes scrolling recipes on my phone on Pinterest, asking ChatGPT, here are the ingredients that I have, make me a simple recipe based on these ingredients that I have at hand. And I had to keep thinking about it, and every single day, like dinner was just going to fall from the sky. And then what's worse is that I would realize that I didn't have the ingredients if I wanted to make something, and then I would end up running to the store and feeling guilty because I had to run to the store again to get those ingredients. So the pattern here is that you tackle the same problems over and over again. So this can be dinner. This can be, what am I going to pack for lunch this week for my kids? What are they going to wear this week? Where are we going to go for a Sunday fun day with the family? You're doing the same thing. So why not have a template for them? So finally, I started to have templates. So for everything in my life, I have a template. So when we're going to travel, I have what we're going to pack when we travel. When we're going to have dinner, I have my templates, my easy, quick hit recipes that I'm going to use, that I can alternate every other week to make sure that we have make sure that we have the nutrients that my family needs for breakfast. I have routines. I have systems in place for everything that I'm going to do, because these are things that you're doing repeatedly. So same thing with project management. We have templates for everything. We have templates for documenting our project plan, for documenting risks, for documenting lessons learned. We can do that in real life. You have a template. We have a birthday party template. So then when you have a birthday party, you can keep using and using that template and just refreshing it to your new circumstances or events. So again, listen, I gave you the 5 time wasters and what to do instead. But if you actually want to implement this and not just to know about it, because the most important thing is to do, and you need support and systems to do this. So that's why I have the free membership. And we are building a community of women who are done spinning their wheels and they want to take control of their lives. So, again, I pinned that link here. Make sure you get in the free membership and let me know which one of these top 5 time wasters is more resonant with you. What do you find that you're more guilty of one than the other? Like I said, I was more guilty of number 3, time waster. And let me know which one you're going to tackle first. I would like to hear here in the comments, and be sure to subscribe if you want more of this real talk productivity for actual real life, real moms with real lives. See you in the next video.